Hey, we finally pulled one off. It only took us 56 episodes. Hey, everybody, what is happening? It is Saturday night, the third Curmudgeon's Corner in May. How about that? How exciting is that? We got 3 this month. Whoop, whoop. We have a full house already. Westcat's in the house. Humberto, Tim from Shine Your Light, Rick Smith. Rick Smith. Paul's in the house. We got a great guest.
Yeah, Wes.
Really exciting. I saw Kimberly MC. Who else we got in here? I know I was talking with a bunch of people. I've been here for a little while, goofing off. Keith Firebird, of course.
Rick Smith, Keith. Yeah.
So first and foremost, welcome to the show, Curmudgeon's Corner 56. Everybody and anybody could be here, or it be anywhere on a Saturday night, and yet you chose to hang out in the corner with us, which is an honor for us.
It definitely is.
Eileen, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was thinking today while I was preparing for the podcast that I haven't talked to you like all week, or like
that's not true. You called me.
Okay, maybe once, but usually we talk like every other day.
This is true.
I think we only talked to each other like once this week, so I feel a little like out of the loop with you.
Well, it's 100% my fault. First and foremost, It was Memorial Day week, which means we had Monday off, which means that Mondays are always a dumpster fire when it comes to small business. And then if you have a long weekend, then Tuesday is even worse. So it was an extra large dumpster fire. And I've got news. I've got news, Eileen.
You do? Tell me about it.
We got to whisper it so everybody doesn't hear.
I want to know.
I got the fin rear labels. I got the fin rear samples.
Wait, can we see the label, or is that like still?
No, it's up. I mean, it's upstairs. I have to go get it if you want me to run away real quick. But it's fire. Oh,
yeah, it is. I tried it the other day. It's so good.
I'm really excited. I got to meet up with Socrates today. As you guys know, Socrates is moving to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is 100% why we started the whole Rise and Restore Myrtle Beach 2025. Was because we originally were going to help Socrates move, and then hang out and get a bunch of cool stuff from Kiev for the Pay It Forward campaign and all that. And then what ended up happening was, I guess because of school and paperwork and stuff like that, Sock had to go to Myrtle Beach earlier than expected. So he's actually going to be going down next week. And he had a whole bunch of extra stuff that I was going to transport for him. So we decided to just get together today, had some lunch. I got all of the rest of his gear that he's moving to Myrtle Beach with. And then when we go down on the 19th, I'm just going to drop it all off at his house. So where was I going with this? Oh, I know where I was going with this. He thinks that Fenrir is going to put Phoenix on the map.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
it's really good.
I think all of my products slap, if I do say so myself, but Fenrir is pretty special. He's like, there's only one other tire dressing that I truly like, and I can't support the guy that makes it. So the fact that I have, like, from Titan Tim's video and what he's seen and what he's played with, he's like, this might be the best. It might be the best.
It's really good. Yeah, and I like the scent.
Thank you.
It's really good.
We did it with you in mind.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, so normally we start off the show with some mental floss. If you would indulge me, I would love to share this week's mental floss with you guys.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, John. Who else jumped in?
John Weber up there. Hey, Conway's in the house. Wait, Conway's in the house. How's Conway in the house? Oh, right, Conway's in the house. All right, share screen.
Christy stopping by to say hi.
Daryl, what's up, dog? All
Daryl,
right.
go ahead, dude.
We're never going to get this done.
Go.
Here we
go. How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces.
12 ounces.
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Very cool.
Put the glass down, Eileen.
Yep. You have to sometimes.
I will carry a entire pitcher of water in both hands.
Very true.
I am so bad at letting it consumes me. And when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing that you think about is, your business and your finances and all of that stuff, and your car and, relationships and all of that stuff, it will consume you. And then you start to feel that darkness that we talk about a lot. You know what I mean? And I think it all stems from not being able to put the water down.
Absolutely.
We have a really, really special guest backstage waiting for us.
Super
he
special.
might be the smartest guy in the room. We've had engineers on our show. We've had all kinds of intellectuals on our show. This gentleman, I think, is truly unique. And I can't wait to pick his brain. I don't know if you were able to watch any of his stuff on Christy's podcast. She did a really, really big deep dive into his background as far as detailing is concerned. But there is so much more to this fella that I can't wait to. I can't wait for you to do what you do, and I can't wait for me to get my Mount Rushmore on this guy. So I think, without further ado, we need to bring the coolest cat that we got going on.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo, welcome to the stage. Boom.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
What is going on, Conway?
Hey. Conway has a great head of hair. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he got the reference. He knew Johnny Bravo when I said it. Oh yeah, and look at those pipes. You've been working out there, Conway?
Oh, a little bit. It's been a lifetime of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you tonight, my
sure.
friend?
Doing fantastic.
So,
I like the shirt.
Yeah, right.
Shirt there.
Yeah.
We this technically would be considered a community edition, Curmudgeon's Corner community edition, only because you haven't made all the circuits yet. I'm a little jealous that Christy got to pop your cherry, but whatever, it happens. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Christy's fantastic. She's a wonderful person. I appreciate her. But yeah, I'm glad to be here and really excited to be with a couple other of my favorite people around. I love Eileen and Aaron. You're fantastic as well with everything that you do. And trust me, I did my homework with you and all the things that you support and do for people. Man, my hat's off to you. You're a great brother.
Thanks, sir. I tried to so I got to go up to see Socrates and pick up the rest of his gear to bring it down with him. And he was like, dude, you have no idea how much this means to me and how, you're really helping me out of a pinch. And it's kind of like, dude, that's what this community does. Don't just talk about it, be about it. And I think that's what we try to continue to put out there into the universe in this little group. Ron enthusiast. I saw David Boyce in the house. Christy joined us. So, we got all the usual suspects. I'm so happy to be here, which is great that everybody here is like the usual suspects, because I know that they watched Christy's show, so we can get a lot of that stuff out of the way. I would love to sing your praises of how accomplished you are as a technician and a detailer and all of those things. It was fascinating to listen to, just how much of an expert you really are. And I think that because she kind of trailblazed with all of that, now we can goof off, and that's what the Curmudgeon is all about.
That's your favorite part of it all.
That's my favorite part of it. When you start doing the whole detail and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. Just like when I start going pop culture, you're like, oh, let me check my
Not pop culture. When you go comic
let
that
me
way.
check my Instagram for 4 hours. Anyway.
So let's see, what line is under my detail coat line? I think Paul asked. Well, that'd be an airbrush. That'd be all my paint touch-up supplies, and that'd be Geist leather product and repair.
I think they mean in between detail coat and that shelf. What's in the middle there?
You mean the Phoenix line right there? Not necessarily top shelf, because the other crap on top.
No. Below the detail coat.
Below the detail coat, these are more detail coat stuff that I've got, but this is all
okay.
airbrush, paint touch-up kit, Geist leather repair kit stuff.
That looks like a different brand. I think.
Lady from Ash. You mean Hot Lips Houlihan, Humberto?
Hot Lips. What?
Yeah, Hot Lips.
Definitely hello to everybody in the chat tonight. Appreciate everybody showing up.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, what?
That's a shame.
What's a shame?
Some of my earliest memories were watching MASH with my dad on a little tiny black and white TV.
Oh, yeah.
Similar stuff. My parents used to watch it when I was a little kid.
Who remembers Frank Burns' nickname? Wasn't Frank Burns? I know he was a major. I don't know. Conway, honestly, how would oh, here you go. All right, so we're doing it. Conway, honestly, how would you tackle scratches on taillights?
Well, other than, depending on how bad they are, other than replacement, sand them out. You treat them just like you would a headlight repair.
Right.
Sand them out, polish them out, and then put like a ceramic coating on them.
Yeah.
All right. So usually the first time you come on the show, we do a little bit of a Batman origin story. I know that you expressed on Christie's show that you have always had an interest in cars. So that kind of explains how you picked this particular trade. Is there anything else as far as an origin story that you would like to share with the class?
Oh man, that's, it's same old, dad owns shop, boy works in dad's shop, boy meets car, boy falls in love with cars. It's just been that all my whole life. I even the woman I'm married to, my wife Angela, she wasn't a car person until she met me, and now she's like a major gearhead. So it is literally one of those infecting kind of things that when people get involved in it.
Yeah.
So you're married, and do you have any kids?
Yeah, I've got a daughter that she'll be 33 in July.
Get the flock out of here. You're like 35 at best.
I just turned 57 this last Sunday.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I just turned 57.
Man, he's definitely living better than me. I just turned 51. I look like an old curmudgeon. Ryan Mulhern, it's about time you showed up. H&M Auto
That's
Detail.
a front door. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, Eileen, you want to jump into the quick fire?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
You ready for it, Conway?
I'm ready.
Absolutely. Let's hit it.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. What is your favorite smell or scent?
Ooh. My favorite smell or scent is fruity type smells.
Okay. What is your least favorite scent or smell?
Heavy colognes.
Oh, really?
Well,
Okay.
a good thing Fanier is black eye scented. It's heavy duty on the.
Yeah, I'm not
cologne.
a big cologne guy.
Yeah, it's not. I lie.
It's
Yeah,
not. It's really
I hate
subtle.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you look at so like if you ask me what scent I would probably put in my own vehicles, it's usually like melons. It's usually like vanilla. It's usually like things like that. But if you told me to, black eye, that stuff's nasty.
Not good. Okay. What is your most used app on your phone?
Ooh, most used app. Man, believe it or not, it's probably YouTube.
YouTube.
I hear that HM also likes the smell of feet.
Oh man.
I've got no problem with iron remover smell. It doesn't bother me none.
Have you tried the Furies yet? Because apparently it is different. It might not be the most pleasant smell that's out there, but it's definitely not that sulfur disgusting.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No, the two best ones out there, believe it or not, I've tried is the Furies and Detail Codes. Neither one of those smell like garbage. I mean,
What? Who told you? Adrian says you talk in your sleep, sir.
Okay, Samsung or iPhone?
I'm a Samsung guy. Total Android nerd.
What?
I knew
What?
it.
What? You cut
This
up.
is
You
why.
cut out.
This
Say
is
that-
what. This is why. This explains everything. Do you understand how it
Well,
explains everything?
you cut out. What did he say?
Samsung. What else would he say?
Samsung. I'm a total Android nerd. I used to
I-
figure out how to hack my Android phones and do all the crazy stuff to them. I'm a major.
He
geek.
figured out how
I
to
won't lie.
hack the Android phones. Huh. Yeah. Okay.
Of
Cool.
course, you can hack an iPhone too, and I know how to do that
you
as
can.
well.
Yeah, much quicker than a Samsung.
That's not what he said.
That's
He said
right.
He could hack an Android. That's what he said. I heard him say Android.
I love this. Cats or dogs? Hey, Jordan.
Both.
Hey, Jordan.
Both.
I have
Both.
both. I've got.
I was gonna ask. Do you have cats and dogs?
I do. I've got 3 Old English bulldogs, and then I've got one cat that thinks he's a dog.
Yeah, but if you had a Sophie's choice it. If you had a Sophie's choice it, what would it be?
Oh man, I couldn't pick. I love them both.
Oh, then they all die. I saw them.
That's terrible.
I didn't make the rules. The Nazis did.
What's the
think.
cat's name?
Wasn't that Nazis in Sophie's choice?
My cat's. Well, he is a black and white tuxedo cat. He is. His name is Sylvester. So
Sylvester. Oh, that's cute.
he's a big cat. He's like 17 pounds. He's a big
Whoa.
tomcat.
Yeah.
He was a rescue. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Good for you. Okay, if you could only listen to one song for a whole detail, or just to say for a whole day, because I know you do more than detail, what would it be?
Ooh, that's tough because my music taste is so varied. I'll listen to anything but country. Man, it's something that when your buddy that goes to music for school tells you country isn't music because music can't be classified as noise, and it's noise. And I always was like, man, you're going to school for music, so I'm going to trust your opinion. It's, and I don't know if there's one song I could actually just listen to, but because I like so much.
Is there one song that you're really kind of like stuck on recently, or something that kind of inspired you to create a playlist? Or I don't know. Sometimes I hear a song and I'm like, oh, I should make a playlist out of that. And it kind of just
the horrible thing, Eileen, is my playlist starts at anything from the 1960s throughout the 70s. It could be new wave rock and punk stuff from the 80s. It could be hair band stuff from the 80s. It could be old school rap from DJ Quick to Run DMC to you name it. I mean, it's even newer stuff. So I mean, it's really hard. I mean, my playlist, when my wife's like, we'll ride somewhere and we're like, holy crap, what is this list? It's like, so it's, it's strange because one moment it's going like the Allman Brothers band, and then it switches to Depeche Mode, and then next thing you know, it's playing Ice Cube. So
You're all over the place. I love that though.
I'm
good.
terrible. It would be impossible to nail down a song.
A song.
Man, it's I like Ice Cube a lot, you know. So
Yeah.
Cube's my guy.
Okay, that's a good one. Anything Ice Cube.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones. All right, let's see. What is your favorite sandwich? Eric's in the house.
I love as far as sandwiches, I love a great roast beef sandwich.
Okay.
The place that I normally order from, they have a sandwich called the Comstock, and it's roast beef, lettuce, tomato, mayo, vinegar, banana peppers, pickles, and red onions.
Whew.
It's the bomb.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it would give me heartburn, though, I feel.
No, it's stomach of cast iron here.
Yeah, I'm sure. What is one thing that you own that you should throw out?
Oh man,
A hot dog. Ryan knows what's up.
I know what I'd like to say, but it wouldn't be politically correct to say right now. So I'm sure Westcat knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's I mean, there's a couple of brands of products I'd probably throw out right now, but other than that, that's about it.
Got it. Okay. What is the scariest animal?
Man, the scariest animal. Well, I know I'm not going to say shark because all you got to do is avoid the water, so that doesn't matter.
That's true.
The scariest animal.
Hey, he wrote it.
No.
He can't change it. He wrote it
Scariest
down.
animal.
Yeah. Daryl, guess what, buddy? There's like what 43 people in there.
I'm coming for the hot dog.
For the hot dog.
I would probably have to say, man, animals don't really scare me much. So, I mean, but anything that's extremely poisonous. I mean, like, not a big fan of poisonous snakes.
Okay.
Snakes in general don't bother me. I've owned reptiles before, including really large snakes, but not a big fan of poisonous ones.
All right, that's fair.
So what was your first concert?
What was my first concert? That'd be back in the 70s, and I saw Kiss.
Oh, that had to have been a good one.
Yep, all original members, all original band. Yep, it was pretty great.
See, I was going to say Bananarama. I picked you as a Bananarama kind of guy, but I was clearly off.
Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Give more than you take.
Jamie's in the house.
Yes, he is.
What's up, JTC?
What is your favorite action movie?
Favorite action movie.
Barbershop.
I don't watch a lot of TV and movies, to be honest.
Titanic.
I mean, I do watch some, but I would probably say, man, that's a tough one.
A good one.
No, I would probably say, and you go back to some of the Terminator stuff, you know.
A good one.
Aha.
Okay, apples or oranges?
I would probably say oranges.
And last but not least, what would you want your legacy to be when you're gone?
So when I'm gone, my legacy I want to be is that I was able to help many, touch as many people's needs as I could throughout my life, leave something fantastic for probably the best thing I've ever done in my life, which is my daughter. I want to make sure again that I always give more than I ever take. And I'd like to make a space shot once before I die.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. I've got a whole laundry list of things I want to talk to you about that. Curmudgeon's Corner 56. That's right, Bill. Boop, boop. Don't like clowns anymore since the OG It came out.
Yeah, that changed the way you see clowns. Megatron definitely could have been a Terminator. I think. Right?
Well, definitely.
It's a possibility.
I think that was his plan, wasn't it? To suck all the energy off of Earth and leave it like a desolate moon.
A shape-shifting, Terminator, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So, typically we do like this Mount Rushmore thing. Where are we at? We're at 8:26. So that's a half hour in. You want to give something away, Eileen?
We can if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of Conway's cat?
Wow. I talked all the way through that.
Of course you did. Rick G. Who's Rick G? Hey, Rick G.
Rick G. Welcome to the show, Rick. Make sure you subscribe. Boop, boop, boop.
John Weber got it. He takes notes.
Oh, that's right. I did remember that because I was going to say something about Sylvester. That's right. I did remember Tweety. All right. So John Weber. Is John Weber even eligible? I feel like he's been winning everything.
Here we go.
I think he's taken over the new Keith.
We do this every time. Send him a gift card.
The fix is in, right?
Fix is in. He's good. Basically, I think what they did is they printed up a sheet just like this, and then they take their own notes, and then they just go, bah.
Yep. I think John Weber definitely does that because he got that really quickly.
All right, let's talk about these. Let's talk about these rocket ships, shall we? So, from doing the homework, listening to Christy's show, I can see the picture over your right shoulder.
Yep.
It's you with your rocket ships. And if you go to your Facebook page, there's a ton of those things of you building your rocket ships. And then you had also said that you're building a mini space shuttle. And that when you're talking about wanting to, do a space jump, first and foremost, is the Earth flat?
No.
Okay, just check. Inquiring minds want to know.
I've got videos and pictures from 100,000 feet that say different.
Yeah. So my cousin, Colonel Andrew Morgan, is an astronaut. He spent 9 months on the ISS. And on Thanksgiving, we got to talk to him on the ISS. And we got to see the Earth from the ISS. And it was pretty badass. And I can say without a doubt, yeah, it's definitely round. There you are, orbiting around the Earth. Something weird.
One of my dear friends actually is an astronaut, Dr. Woody Hoberg, and he spent 6 months on the ISS as well last year, and he's part of the moon program.
Okay, so again, I told you earlier backstage that you're definitely going to be the smartest person in the room, without a doubt. I have a question for you. When it comes to you making your own little personal space shuttle and doing a space jump, you're familiar with the submarine Titan, right?
Yep.
That doesn't bother you? It doesn't worry you?
Nope.
It doesn't scare you?
None.
It would be terrifying.
Nope.
And I mean, I don't want to be a phallic symbol to you. I really don't. But I mean, it's like, man, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Well, the nice thing is one, I won't be riding in it. So the key part is that this is going to be a flight only of a ship, and I'm not too worried about that. And I've managed to do over the last many years, 20 years of making my own propellants, categorizing, testing, proofing. When you look at any of these flights that I've got, and all the propellants are usually my own formulations, my own. I've flown them from anywhere from 35,000 to 100,000 feet. The Karman line, which is where we see spaces at, is like right at 320,000 feet. There have already been attempts that have made it over that. So it's not like it's something new. But for a personal entity that's not a college team, that's not a business backed team, that's just three guys in their garage making stuff.
Yeah, that's the part of the story that terrifies me. that's the part of the story that I can't wrap my head around. I'm like, oh my God.
So two of us are automotive professionals. One of us happens to be a pilot, but also has an engineering degree background. And, you know, the toughest part is never on the way up. It's the way back. It's recovery. Because to me, to make it a successful flight, it has to come back. It has to come back under chutes. It has to stay within its limits that the FAA and all of them have given us. It has to, perform the way it has to. And then the data's got to be collectible. We're going to get video. We're going to have, complete data. We'll be able to know how fast, how many Gs, the burn time, everything. I'm static testing motors beforehand. There's a lot of process that goes into it to make sure that everything works right. All the electronics on board will have complete live tracking all the way up. You won't even have to see it physically to be able to know what it's doing, because you will know on the ground what it's doing.
How does one go about, the process? How does one even go about starting to build all of those computer systems? I mean, this isn't just like, we're not just building a Pine Derby car, man. We're going into space, and like you said, what was it, Indiana Jones? I thought you said you could fly. Fly, yes. Land, not so much. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you build a computer? Just the three guys in a garage. How do you build a computer and a vessel that is going to be able to withstand space and the G's and everything? That, man, it eludes me, because I am not a superior intellect.
There's a lot of work that goes into it, and a lot of pre-planning, a lot of stuff that you have to program out, write down, work out, get all the details done on the ground, do lots of test flights and test fires to various different altitudes to make sure they're successful. Once you start getting above 35,000 feet, things start to get very much similar above that, until you get into the area of layers where you start to have loss of gravity, and then things change a little bit more. But even that's not that bad, because now it's not so much you're fighting the pull of the earth and its gravity, or even so people don't understand that you're not only fighting gravity's forces trying to leave the planet, but you're also fighting wind resistance and air resistance and density of the air as the thing goes through air. When we usually get it back, any paint that's on it is gone, because it pretty much melted it off of it from the airflow coming around it superheating the outside of it. So usually we use a high temperature type coating on the outside that helps with a little bit of the ablation. The cool part about this vessel that we're doing is it's all aluminum, and a lot of the past ones have been either like all fiberglass or all carbon fiber with some aluminum. I fly regularly a rocket not much bigger than my arm to 35,000 to 40,000 feet. This particular one in this picture is about as tall as I am and only 5 inches around, and it went 45,000.
But Conway, how do you what got you into it? Because you obviously have to love it. you have to love it enough to do all of this work, because it seems like it's a lot of work. This is a foreign language to me, but like what got you into it that made you just so passionate about it?
So I got started with rocketry. It was, one of the other things as a child that I liked a lot. I got started with all the little Estes Alphas and all the really cool stuff and very neat things. And it stuck with me throughout the years. Granted, there are times that I took a break. You find, like I say, you find cars, girls, and you lose track of that for a while, but then you come back to it and you get invested into it and you like find out that it's like really, more than you remember it being, and it got bigger and more, and it became more adult version of it.
Right.
So doing that, and that there's this national organizations that are out there, whether it's the Tripoli Rocketry Association or National Association of Rocketry, that support all of that. And then there's outreach programs from NASA and private aerospace companies like Industrial Solid Propellants, AutoTech, all of these various different companies out there, as well as NASA and big names like National, Launch Association, and they go out and they help a lot of people. And I work with a lot of stuff. So like for me, I actually mentor 2 different college teams. I am their liaison and mentor for these college teams for the contests that they do. And
Super cool.
they'll hold contests where you're supposed to fly to a certain flight, deploy a payload. The payload's supposed to do something. They recover it all. Or there's lots of things that they do, and you get involved with a lot of that. And, it's kind of funny that, here these are kids that are all engineering students for aerospace, and I'm just some automotive geek, but I have the physical experience that they lack. I may
Conway,
not
you're
be an
never
engineer.
just anything. You are very much a very smart guy. Never just an automotive guy. This is awesome. This is great to hear.
It's outside of cars, it's the other thing that I enjoy a lot. It's kind of what got me into 3D printing, because there's things that I use 3D printing for that. And then so there's a lot of rabbit holes you go down, whether it's, and it teaches a lot. There's a lot that it teaches, mathematics and physics. And I apply, of course, if you've never seen any of the rockets that are up close, and there are some that are on my channels, the paint that I do on them is my paint work that I do on cars, and I like making them look incredibly beautiful, incredibly elaborate. It's just an all out, I don't know how to do anything small scale is my problem.
Go bigger, go home.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
That's
100%. But it almost feels like a culmination of all of the skills that you've acquired throughout your whole entire life, just in one thing, which is the rocket, because it just does all the things. Thanks for the light box, Conway. Yeah, that thing is awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Keith. It was my pleasure to do it. No, it's one of those things that it's just an enjoyment. And like the detailing community with the people in it, for the most part, there are a lot of fantastic people that I like to call family. And
I can't think of one.
I can think of a couple, but I won't go there.
None of them. Especially you, Eileen. I'm looking at you.
But hey, it's, for the most part, there's an incredible, the rocketry community is very much the same. There's most anybody out there that would drop anything they're doing for their stuff to give to help another, or it's, you need to go out and look for your rocket out in the middle of somewhere where it landed 5 miles away, and there's a band of people that say, we'll go with you. You got your GPS tracker and you're trying to go find it. It's not necessarily really hard to find.
Yeah.
But I'm able to track it within 30 feet, and within that distance you'll see it. So it's, I've had them I've seen them land as far as 16 miles away and still be tracked. So
That's awesome.
I know Titan Tim had a question about how we get FAA approval. So we have liaisons that we work with the FAA for airspace. And basically what we file for is we are able to file with them for a waiver. The waiver gives us the ability to create a cylinder of operational space for us to play in, basically. So we call in a waiver like a week or a couple of days before the launch, and we say we're going to need, that's a 10 mile diameter or 10-mile radius or whatever the diameter of the cylinder is. And then we need this altitude, and then they approve us for that. Now, certain sites have the ability to go much higher. So like when we do the space shot stuff, we go out to the Black Rock Desert in Utah and Nevada area, and we fly there, and we have pretty much an unlimited waiver to as high as you want to go. And the radius is usually a 20-mile circle. You have to stay within that radius to not violate the waiver. My local flying field out here is 50,000 feet, and it's 20-mile diameter.
So we got a question here about the chute deployment. Where did I lost it? Where is it? What is the size of the chutes, and like how does that get deployed? And I mean, are you sure it's going to stop you?
Yeah, so all of that is all able to be done through the mode of electronics, an altimeter that does deployment. So the altimeter rides inside the rocket, and it's fed by vent holes that feed the outside air to the inside air. You're using various things like GPS, acceleratometers, and barometric sensors that read the pressure change as it's coming up to the peak altitude at apogee. It senses all that. And when it does that, it allows the altimeter to basically fire a small charge. That small charge can either ignite a small canister that's packed with black powder, or per se a CO2 canister that's fired, and it basically separates the first section of the rocket on a long Kevlar harness that the what we call the drogue chute is attached to. And what that does is, so from 35,000 feet, it allows it to fall and descend at about 125 feet a second at a rate that allows it to fall more straight down and not drift in because you're going into the jet stream and you don't want to be in 60 to 90 miles per hour wind and have a great big chute catch out, because you're going to be picking your rocket up in, Kansas or,
right, somewhere,
New York or somewhere else that's not near you.
right.
We bring it down quickly, and then the altimeter has the ability to read the altitude again based on those sensors. And we have a preset level that we set it at. We can set it at 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet, 800 feet, whatever we need to set it at, where the main chute's going to come out. And then it ejects another portion of the rocket apart on another Kevlar harness. And that's where the large chute comes out and slows it down to usually around 12 to 15 feet per second. So it lands like a little soft bird. Chutes can vary in size depending on the use. So like a drogue chute for a small rocket might only be 2 to 4 inches around, and the main chute might be only a 72-inch diameter. Whereas like on some of the bigger rocket stuff, you could be using human grade, 3 of them type size parachutes, depending on the weight of the rocket.
Man, there's so many things to consider when it comes to this.
How long of a flight
Oh,
is
yeah.
it?
The up part, so like let's say from one of my smaller rockets that runs to 35,000 feet, the up part gets there in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, what I'm talking about, like when you do your flight into space, how long is it going to be?
The space shot will probably take roughly about 5 minutes.
Good gravy.
Juice says, "What's the material made out of? English? What materials are the chutes made out of?"
Silk, right? Silk?
Usually they are a ripstop nylon.
No.
and a lot of the materials that they have there's Kevlar involved, there's Nomex involved. I mean, you're doing a lot of things to protect the chute. Plus, there's other various like straps and seaming, and the harnesses are all tubular Kevlar, various different rated strengths.
And that's also something you have to take in consideration when it comes to all this is like, right? Like weight, material,
Yeah.
all of that
So
has an effect.
you have to exactly. So like on a harness, you have to plan for a rated G force, and so the rated G force you're trying to plan for is usually for a failure point. So let's say something were to happen and it comes apart in a unexpected way. You don't want the harness to fail, so you're taking usually that G force. So let's say the G forces that you're going to apply is 90 Gs.
Mhm.
Okay? Most people don't understand that because fighter jets are talking 8 Gs, drag cars, top fuel cars are like 8 Gs. We're talking at the limits of Gs, but you're talking 90 Gs. Now you have to times that times per se a failure rate of 50. So you got to be able to handle 50 times what that G force is at a failure rate. So therefore you adjust your harness strength to fit that.
Mhm.
No, I'm just gonna stay on the ground.
I mean, I struggle with making sure that I have the right amount of change when I give someone some money. So this is like next level math.
Right?
It's definitely
Train
not
leaves
uniform,
Chicago at 45 miles an hour. Another train leaves New York, leaving at 55 miles an hour.
Oh,
At what point
man,
do they
that's
collide
awesome.
with each other? I don't know. Pittsburgh.
It's I work with a lot of alphabet agencies. I have my explosives license for manufacturing.
I heard, huh? You and I need to get together. Meet up somewhere.
No,
Say,
we
I don't know,
don't.
Kansas.
No.
I work with the BATFE. I work with local law enforcement. I work with fire departments. I work with the FBI. I work with all these different alphabet agencies that are designed to kind of watch over me. And I've dealt with them since about 2000. No, I take it back, 98.
Where do you find the time for all this? I mean, you're detailing. You're a master technician. You're doing, mechanic stuff, and now you're building rockets and going into space. Like,
Does your wife join you in these things, or is she just like she'll help you out with the auto body stuff?
Anything car related, she loves. Anything
Not
rocky
the rocket?
related, not so much. But she also knows for me that it's part of my zen, and she
Yeah,
makes sure that
that's awesome.
it's she's super out. My wife is like the
Yeah,
coolest. She's
that's
like
great.
super supportive. I told her, I says, I think I wanted to start a channel for what I do with cars,
Right,
and she's
Smith.
like, that's great. So I mean, it's she's fantastic.
That's good. That's awesome.
Well, you spend almost 33 years with somebody, you're bound to manage to figure things out, I think.
Yeah, of course.
all right, real quick before I get rid of this comment, Humberto wants to know: do you have cameras on those rockets?
Yes.
All right.
I've actually got one flight on my rocketry channel that does have some onboard video all the way to about, I think, 25,000 feet.
What it would be the unmanned rocket? What's the highest altitude you've achieved?
Just a little more than 100,000 feet. And that's a
just-
task. And it's people don't understand how high 100,000 feet. Most people don't understand how high 35,000. 35,000 feet is where most our jetliners fly and planes fly. Take a look at the tallest buildings in the world. Those are not any higher than roughly 1,500 to 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
It's equivalent to 18.9 miles, and
Straight up.
is often associated with upper reaches of the atmosphere, where high altitude balloons and some aircraft can reach.
Yep, it's pretty crazy to fly a rocket that is about 8 feet tall and only about 5 inches around to 100,000 feet.
And then like obviously it comes back down. Where does it come back down?
That one that we flew, it landed roughly about 8 miles away. We were actually still within our waiver by, we had 5 more miles we could actually extend out that we could have gone and still been within the waiver.
So you basically have a target area of 13 miles?
Yeah, on that flight.
Jiminy Christmas. Just some dude's barbecuing in his backyard and a rocket crashes.
That's one of the other things. That's one of the other things is where we fly at. There's nothing there, so it's.
You said it's in Utah, right? Is where you go?
Yeah, you said Utah.
Black Rock. Yeah, Black Rock Desert out there. There's. I mean, if you've ever heard of Burning Man, which most people have, it's basically out in that same area.
Eileen's detailing out in the desert. All of a sudden, Conway's rockets.
There goes Conway again.
Oh, hey, Conway. It's great.
Have you ever been to a drag race and watched a top fuel car go down the track?
Yeah.
And you feel it and you hear it and the pressure. Flying a really big, powerful rocket like that is very much like that. And you're standing, 1,500, 2,000 feet away, and it's loud and it's obnoxious and its flame is, bigger than the rocket and it's fast. And I've flown stuff to over close to the speed of Mach 4. So it's
Conway, when's the next time you're going to be in Nevada? Because I'm coming out. I need to see this thing.
I'm not for sure when, but trust me, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you have to, because that's amazing.
Conway's going to be the guy that initiates first contact. You probably don't even get that reference. So what are you snickering at? It's a Star Trek reference.
Oh, what is that?
What is Star Trek? Yeah, I hate you. What is Star Trek? All right. What are the size of these?
That's like where they do the lightsabers,
rockets?
right?
First of all, Paul, that's very insulting. They're not toy rockets; they're rockets. But what's the biggest one you've launched?
The biggest one I've launched actually lived here in the Denver Museum of Natural History and Science for about 4 years. It also hung up in Denver International Airport from the ceiling, and it was 24 feet tall, and it was about 2 feet around, 24 inches around, weighed in at close to 500 pounds.
That's a great question, Jamie. What do you think of crop circles, dead cows? And then, the follow-up would be extraterrestrial life. Like, what do you think of the chances of?
I definitely don't think we're alone in this universe.
Nice.
Star Trek is where the Force came from. See, I knew it.
You know what?
The lightsabers thing, right?
Rick Smith. This is all Rick Smith. He's been trolling me for since we did the
Star Trek is where the Force comes from.
He's just like, how is it any different than that Wookiee thing and the Vulcan thing? And how do what's the difference between a Vulcan nerve pinch and using the Force? It's stupid. It's just stupid. Okay, Rick Smith.
Same thing.
You are. That's what I said. You're stupid.
That's awesome.
I hate you. But yeah, so I missed the follow up to that as far as extraterrestrial.
We're not alone.
Yes, we're not alone in the universe, but what are the chances of them coming to this third rock from the sun?
Well, considering we've been to Mars and other places, I can't see that not being a possibility. I think there are a lot of things that are impossible to explain. Humberto being first on everybody's posts in the world. Things like, just all the crazy stuff that there is. So, I mean, look at the pyramids. Look at all that stuff
there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things that don't make a whole lot of sense. And how did it happen? So,
yeah. Yep. I agree.
Do you know who Brian Cox is?
I believe I do.
The British astrophysicist.
Yeah.
So he was recently on Joe Rogan Experience, and I'm not so much a fan of the Joe Rogan Experience when he does like his comedian buddies and stuff like that, but he gets some super, super smart guys on that show. Brian Cox is one of them. And I probably had to listen to that episode 3 or 4 times just to kind of even remotely digest some of the stuff that he was talking about. And, the speed of light and the movie Interstellar and stuff like that. That's such a to me, the whole thing is fascinating.
That
And
movie is
the
insane.
closer you get to the speed of light, the more, obviously it's the theory of relativity. He was saying like the faster you get to the speed of light, you can travel millions and millions and millions of miles across the universe in minutes. However, on Earth, like he's like the trade-off of going that fast across the spans of Earth, the trade-off is you can never go home. He's like, it'll be 40 million years into the future from the people that are on Earth. So you can travel to the Andromeda galaxy, find out what's happening, what's going on, and come back, and it'll be 80 million years later, and you won't be able to tell anybody. That's the trade-off of being able to travel the universe. You can't tell anybody about it because nobody's going to be there when you get back.
Even if you were able to travel at those speeds, I mean, because time doesn't change here.
Right.
You're traveling at that speed, it doesn't change. It's kind of like part of the rocketry thing. You look in the sky. I love looking in the sky. Where I live out pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I'm in a really small town, and I'm able to go outside and look at the sky and see all the stars. And then you got to stop and think and look and go, man, there are some of these lights I'm looking at that don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they truly, they're gone. And you're just seeing that light that's been traveling to us for years and years and years.
Ryan Mulhern's a flat earther. Just saying. Just saying, Ryan Mulhern, you believe the Earth is flat. So.
Probably another one of those that would believe that we've never been to the moon either.
Yeah, right. It was staged. Pass the roach. All right, so we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. Let's give something else away.
Okay.
You have to pay attention to Christie's podcast. What was Conway's first vehicle? What did he call? Enthusiast called what? Anyway.
If the Earth was truly flat, cats would have already knocked everything off.
That's fair. Nope.
A Civic.
What?
A Civic.
Nope. 65 Mustang. Nope. VW Beetle. Nope.
Imagine 65 Mustang. Oh.
See, this is what I went off script, Eileen. I went off script. And
did.
I'm like, I don't have the notes in front of me.
So I'll give you all 2 hints. It's from the 60s and it's a GM product.
Oh, the idea, Conway, is to not give stuff away to these animals.
Right, but they're
Plymouth Fury?
guessing, oh no, see. Now it's like somebody over here eating paint chips over here guessing like that.
Dolores,
that's funny. That's awesome. Dolores is, if I remember correctly, Dolores is a Shelby GT Mustang, I think. That was from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yep.
I love the fact that close date. What year, David? And now everybody's just going to be ripping off numbers.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to just be ripping off numbers.
John Weber knows it. He said it was white. I won't answer it.
Thank you, John Weber. You're a gentleman.
Thank you.
John Weber does know.
66 Impala with red interior?
Nope.
Well, it definitely had red interior.
Oh, we got a partial answer, Keith Firebird and Paul.
It's Eleanor, not Dolores.
Eleanor, that's right. Eleanor, not Dolores. Yeah, he's right. Rick's man. There you go. Boom.
Alvin.
Decar.
Alvin got it.
Dark Dragon got the whole thing.
Alvin got
63,
it.
63, 63.
I believe actually Alvin shares a birthday with me as well recently.
No, look at that.
Is that correct?
What?
Yours is on the 25th, Alvin?
Let's see if he answers.
He knows my name. Wow, look at you. Dragon, send me
correct.
your shipping your email. I need an email address from you, and then I can get you that gift card.
$5.25. Well, happy birthday.
All right, awesome. I'm going to say something else to you now. In the whole line of everything, but I got distracted with the. How about this? How about we do the Mount Rushmore? You said you don't really do movies or TV, so we can get away from that. Give me your top 4 bands.
Ooh. Top 4 bands.
Or solo artists, I don't care.
Well, we already know Ice Cube is one. Judas Priest. Definitely
Yes,
like
Tracy, it is a detailing show, but we talked, he talked like 2 hours with Christy about it last week. So I think everybody's fresh about detailing. Now we're talking space. Ice Cube. What was the other one? I'm sorry.
the other one is Judas Priest.
Judas Priest, that's right. I got a DM from somebody that was wondering why this was supposed to be a detailing show, and we're not talking detailing.
I like the musical talent of the Doobie Brothers.
All right.
Told you I'm all over the place.
I'm sorry. You're allowed to be. I have a very eclectic taste myself.
That's 3. Band Seven Dust, which I'd have to say because they're great friends of mine.
Seven Dust. All right.
And number 5 would probably be
Air Supply.
One.
Air Supply.
Air Supply.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
You know,
apparently you're a Swiftie as well.
Oh no,
the B-52s.
ABBA.
These are cool. ABBA. I know
Who
them
doesn't
as
like,
well.
Who doesn't like ABBA?
Warren G.
Yeah.
Warren G.
I'd probably go old school on that again and say a little Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Aaron, I know your favorite was Def Leppard.
It's not, but it is nostalgic for certain reasons. Rick Smith, shut your face.
By the way, I think Rick Smith asked me how I like the Whipple Charger on my 6.2 Chevy, and it's
but we don't really care about what Rick has to say, so he's banned.
It's actually, but I wanted to correct him. It's not a Whipple; it's a Pro Charger.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting him. He deserves it. You admonish him well. All right. So top 4 foods or meals, or whatever.
Oh yeah. Genres. I definitely I'm down with the hot wings, like something fierce.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Like I'm like bring on the fire.
Hot?
You like hot?
Oh yeah. It's man, it's got to be swimming in peppers and sauce, and like it's got to be fire.
Have you done the hot wings challenge? If you haven't, you should reach out to Thor because they are animals.
I would kill them guys. It's I don't know what it is. My Viking blood, it just loves hot stuff. So I love hot wings, Chinese food, Mexican food. I mean, those are, and I like spicy Chinese food. And I like everything that brings the heat. So,
yeah, I hate when General Tso's chicken is served like sesame chicken. It's supposed to be hot. Make it hot, man. It is supposed to be Like it's supposed to make you bleed out of your eyes.
When I order sesame chicken, I tell them put the fire on that stuff too. So it's yeah. I'm one of those guys that when I go to eat sushi, it's I'll eat the whole ball of green fire. I like you don't get my size by not liking almost all food.
Right. All right. So
So
then the follow-up question is death row, last meal. What is it?
hot wings.
Okay. How many can you put away? How about that? You're gonna make a whole meal out of it.
Better bring me 40 to 50 of them.
40 to 50 hot wings. You are a monster. Titan Tim wants to know if you guys are related.
Oh, that's funny. That's
I
hilarious.
do not cry when
Are
I eat
you my
spicy
brother?
foods. I cry when I eat ultra spicy foods. Dude,
Oh, man.
that sauce that I had on Jamie's show, it was Eddie's show. It was like it was an African ghost death pepper or something like that. It was like 2 million on the Scoville. I died. It's right, Jamie. It was, oh my Lord in heaven. I still have nightmares about that day. And the thing is like everybody says, oh, it's going to hurt coming out the other end. No, it didn't hurt coming out the other end. It hurt for 3 days internally. Like it just lived
stayed
in
right
here.
there.
For 3 days. I was just, that's right. I'm sweating from my eyes. That's right. See? Thanks, Dragon, for having my back. Unlike Rick Smith. Anyway, all right.
Somebody asked ranch or blue cheese.
Both.
Both.
Really? I'm not in the mold, so I would say no.
Good night, Christy.
Night, Christy, we'll see ya.
Do you know anyone at NASA?
I do. I have lots of friends from NASA. One of them, who passed away about 5 years ago, actually was part of the original moon stuff where they landed on the moon with the Apollo missions. And he designed actually the propulsion system for the lunar lander. Without him, they'd have never been able to land or take off on the moon.
I mean, if that's to be believed. Just kidding.
But I have current friends in NASA, ULA, which is United Launch Association, Lockheed, Boeing, pretty much any company you can think of. I have a lot of friends in any of those in the aerospace industry.
That's awesome.
All right. You want to do your now that we've been called out for not doing enough detailing conversation, you want to do your questionnaire?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
When you are.
Conway, what is a tool that you bought that you feel now you could have waited or never purchased at all?
An extractor.
Really?
Yeah. I rarely use my extractor. It's a really nice extractor, and it's probably been used matter of maybe 6 times in its life. It just, even a steamer isn't so much of a need. There are so many things that it's a lot of it has to do with the way newer vehicles are made for like the last 20 years with all the electronics inside of them. And being on the technician side, I see a lot of things that I repair that are damaged by a lot of moisture, because a lot of what I do is electrical. And I see a lot of stuff that gets screwed up by moisture. And I know for a fact that it's just poor practices of some things for some people, pressure washing door jambs. I'm not a fan of. But yeah, it'd probably be the extractor.
Why don't you recommend pressure washing the door jambs?
So especially in the doors where the doors meet, you have a harness assembly that comes through there. Now, granted, there is a rubber boot on it, don't think that rubber boot assembly and where it goes into is waterproof, because it's not. And if you're pushing water in there, so the way it's designed is it's designed to protect water that's just kind of blowing in there, not under pressure. When you
Right.
take a pressure washer and you hit it with pressure, now you're forcing it past those seals. Ford pickups, a lot of the newer Ford pickups, their body control module sits right in the kick panel, right on the other side of that harness. I've seen a ton of those water damaged from stuff like that before, and they're an expensive repair, causes things to go haywire. You can get them wet. The doors, think of how many times you open and close the door. The wires inside there over time, flexing, bending, get brittle, and they start to crack. Well, as you induce water into that boot doesn't protect the wires, and the cracked spot in the wire allows the moisture from the water to get into it, and then it rots the wire, turns it all green and rots it and becomes high resistance.
Mm.
I fix a lot of that too.
Yeah. Good info. All right. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever found while detailing a vehicle?
You really want me to say?
Well, we've heard a good amount of different things. So
I had a close to 80-year-old lady bring me her vehicle to detail. In the trunk was probably about a 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot wide box that was about probably 18 inches deep, full of the wildest looking female adult toys you could imagine, and a bunch of videos.
nice.
For her grandson.
And it was the
They're not mine. They're for my grandson. Don't judge me. They're for my grandson, and I want to be the favorite grandmother. So shut up.
Yeah, the videos would say otherwise as to what, and she was watching some pretty freaky shit. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's man, I'm telling you now, it's like it's one of those, you open the trunk up and you're like, oh man, close the trunk back down, and you're like, yeah, it was scary.
I feel like you're judging me.
All right.
And you know what? She knew they were hers, because when she picked up the car, she remembered she forgot to take her stuff out of the trunk.
How did that get in there? Oh my goodness gracious! I let my neighbor borrow my car.
Oh, she was just all about the fact that she likes to have a good time.
Good for her.
I'm 88. Kiss my ass.
Scary was Aaron, because Aaron was in the videos.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not even just that
nobody
they were
wants
there.
to
It's
see
the
this.
fact that
Nobody wants to
just
see this, right? Okay.
I'm like, God, that one could double as a weapon. I mean, it's like evil and big looking. I mean, like, holy criminies.
Hey, I've seen some things. Back off, pal.
What's the difference between an old hooker and a new hooker? A new hooker uses Vaseline, an old hooker uses Sure Grip.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, this episode was brought to you by
Sure Grip. Have you ever had a customer express an unrealistic expectation of a detail?
Oh yeah. I think all of us in this industry, we come across those. It's kind of like the forever. It's not that dirty phone call, or they bring it to you and it's like a disaster. And it's always the ones that I find that want it the cheapest. And I've got no problem telling people no. I mean, I really don't. I'm busy enough that trust me, I have no problem saying no. And I'm proud of my prices. I don't give anything away. So yeah, it was unrealistic expectations. They wanted it cheaper, and they were really picky about it. And I was like, yeah, it can happen.
Conway, do you prefer Waffle House, IHOP, or Subway?
He probably doesn't have any Waffle Houses out in Utah.
Actually, we do have a Waffle House.
What?
We do have an IHOP, and we do have a Subway. I won't eat at Subway, but I will eat at IHOP and Waffle House. And I would probably say Waffle House rules.
Waffle House does rule.
Waffle
Covered
House
and smothered.
all
Yeah.
day. Okay. What's one thing that you have in your arsenal that if was missing on your next detail, you'd struggle or kick yourself for not having?
Ooh, it'd probably be, well, if it's for interiors, it'd probably be my blowout tool.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like the absolute, and I use that more than a
I don't know.
vacuum.
I don't know what I would do if I had to go back to the days of no air compressor with a blowout tool. I don't even know how I detailed that.
Yeah, you know it. It's game changer. It's like absolute. I mean, I've had some vehicles that you get done with blowing it out, you go, I don't even need to vacuum.
Yeah.
It's literally that clean, and you're like, externally, man. If I'm doing paint work, of course, polisher, any of the things that I need to do, what a person needs me to do.
What blowout tool do you use?
I've got the one that the House of Rags got. I've got various different tornadors. I've got probably too many. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
I've got the little short stubby tornador, the mini.
That's my favorite one.
I like it because it gets in places that others don't, and it's
I'm really enjoying that
one of my favorites. I
Okay.
do like the ones that use the ball bearing and because they seem to have more action than the tube style. I do find.
Yeah. Okay. Where am I? What is a skill that you learned that has proven to be most beneficial for you as a detailer or for your business?
Metal tip or dongle tube? What does that mean?
Metal tip or dongle tube? Does he mean
sure
like
what he means?
Does he mean like
which
the
one
plastic?
is better? Metal
like
tube
the
is.
plastic,
I think he's
like
having a conversation with himself.
Oh, with the probably the blowout tool. I like the bearing driven metal tip setup.
Speaking of blowout tools, what did you do with all the stuff in my trunk?
Metal tube it is.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry to interrupt you. Go back.
If I were to pick a skill, business wise, it was growing as far as how to work and communicate with customers on a better level, and understanding the value of what I offer, and as a business, as the services, and knowing what it's worth, and not letting people try to treat me like some sort of barter system. I mean, it's amazing how, I mean, I don't play that stuff. I don't. My prices are my prices. This is what I charge. I know what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you excellence, and I'm going to meet all of your needs. And we're going to discuss it beforehand, and we're going to make sure that I know what you want, and you know what I'm going to give you, and we both agree to that and what it costs, and that's that. I mean, I think once you do that, you eliminate 99.9% of the issues that you can run into.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I've found for myself that when I speak my prices confidently, knowing my work and what I do, people question it less than when you're like, well, I can kind of like maybe do this and that.
Yeah.
And they hear that and then they start like, then they got you.
Yeah, you gotta be firm. You gotta go out there and look over. And I don't do phone quotes. I don't guess. I don't do, picture quotes. I want to see the vehicle. And I'll tell somebody over the phone, I can give you an estimate. This is an estimate. This isn't a quote. An estimate is flexible. An estimate is something that is not set in stone. A quote is when I'm going to tell you when you bring me the car, and this is what's set in stone and what we're going to do. I'm going to remind you that, hey, there are things that we can run into that could change, but I'm going to call you and we're going to have a conversation about that. And then people usually, it's amazing when you have confidence and you're very direct and you're very, just and let it out there. Don't be timid. Don't be scared to tell them things. Don't be, I mean, what's the worst they're going to do is tell you no? I mean, fine. I got 10 more vehicles lined up I can do right now. I'm not too worried about it. It's forming that relationship with my customers. I also treat my customers like, they're part of my extended family, and they know I care about them. They know that they can refer me because they know that, hey, that guy's going to do people right. He's going to take care of them. You're going to like it. So
Conway, which new vehicle manufacturer do you think has the worst interior quality?
Anything that's a European made vehicle or most of the Japanese made vehicles.
Can I say I just did a Volkswagen Atlas yesterday, and that carpet was disgusting. It was terrible.
Yeah, they're horrible. GM makes great interior stuff. Ford stuff
What
is
makes them horrible?
decent. It's like you're using the same kind of carpet they use on doing a speaker box for
It's
a
terrible.
subwoofer. Man, it is. You get any hair in it, and it's like impossible to get it out. I'm doing a disaster Volvo tomorrow. In fact, for one of my good customers that she has her 2 dogs that live in it. It hasn't probably been cleaned in the last 3 years. There's probably about 2 inches of hair on top of all of the carpet. It's nasty. And she finally was like, and I'm like, she's like, how much is it? She says, I just need the interior done. How much? And I'm like, man, we're probably starting at like 600. And granted, I'll go do pickup delivery. I go all out for people, but she's still, and she was, what she said? She says, if it's more, I understand that. It's a disaster. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's got that carpet in it just like that too. And that's what's going to be, man, I've got compressor cranked up. I've got the blowout tools ready on dial in.
I had 16 pet tools, my little tornado, everything, and it just like, oh my god, it was just terrible. Set between the sand and the pet hair, it just like never ended.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible.
And I told her, I says, are you going to put the pets right back in? She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, we're not going to go for perfection. I'll make it look fantastic and you're going to love it. But there's still going to be some remnants of hair here. There's still going to be, I'll clean everything up, but like the scratches in the seat from the dog nails and things like that, I can repair all that stuff through leather repair and then recolor it all. But I told her why. When you know good and well enough, you're going to just put the dogs back in and it's going to happen right away.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
She's like, yeah, that's, and it's great that I can have that direct conversation with somebody confidently and go, this is this is that. And they go, yep, that is. And we say, well, then let's plan for this because this is how it's going to happen. This is what I can deliver. What do you expect? What do you want? And then they go, well, what I want is, I go, yes, I can do that. No, I can't. Or you may want to rethink that because if you're just going to put the dogs back in there,
then why am I going to sit here and
it's no sense of, because I'm at that point, I'm going to try and help them save some money themselves without saying, hey, guess what? It cost you $1,000 to fix all this stuff in your interior when we could have charged you maybe 600 and got you to a happy place that you go, sweet. Now, every year I'm going to bring it to you or every 6 months, and we're going to do a better cleanup that keeps on top of it. And that's what we'll talk about. We'll talk about doing things that allows her to stay ahead of it and not let it get so horrible like it is now after waiting for the last 2, 3, 4 years it's been since she had it.
Get it to where it's manageable.
And I know she wants just an interior detail. I'm going to wash the outside for just a quick wash, make it quick and easy, just because that's the right thing to do to make her. Because when she walks up to the car, the first thing she's going to see is the outside. And I want her to look at it and be a little bit wowed before she even opens the door.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Christopher Thomas. Good to see you from Facebook.
As a small business, what has been the biggest challenge you have faced and also the best or favorite accomplishment to date.
Um,
Good night, Ryan.
I would probably say that the biggest challenge I've faced is people in general, because everybody's their own personality, whether it's internal people like employees, because I look at employees as an internal customer in a sense, in some ways. Um, Everybody's a different piece of clay. You have to work with them differently. Those are challenging. Um, Trying to train people, not everybody learns at the same paces and speeds or qualities. Um, and then there are those that, I'll be honest, they just don't cut it, and you have to be able to know when to um, cut that and say, hey, this isn't working. And it can be difficult.
Thanks, Wes.
And that's the truth, Wes. It's it's one of the biggest, toughest parts of it. It's the same with customers. There are customers you have to fire, believe it or not. There are customers that, that they don't want to help you help them sometimes.
Right.
It's like they almost think that by doing so, it's going to cost them money. It's the infamous call, well, it's not that dirty. The calls I love getting, and I'm sure you do too, Eileen, is when they call and say, oh my God, it is so horrible. It is the filthiest. And you know what? When they bring it to you, you go,
I
barely got to do anything.
I love those. Yeah.
Because
tell me it's dirty.
I'm that person. I'm that person that when you go out in my truck, my wife's vehicle, any of our vehicles, man, to me, dirty is it's like hasn't been washed in the last 7 to 14 days. It hasn't been, you get inside and everybody that ever rides inside my vehicles go, well, this is clean. And I'm like, oh no, this is dirty to me. I mean, there's dust, there's, oh no, that's clean. I can't take it. I mean, let alone the fact that I don't want my customers seeing me drive something that
of course
they look at and go, God, that guy doesn't even care about his own vehicle. How can he care about mine?
Right. Yeah, for sure. The lady I dealt with yesterday with the Atlas, I said, how much pet hair is in there? She's like, oh, it's like a handful. And then I'm like, okay. When I saw it, I was like, this is more than a handful, lady. It's always like that. What social media platform have you had the most success with?
I'm not going to lie, with the business aspect of it and things like that, I'm very new to social media. I have operated solely around locally off of word of mouth. We have had some advertising locally and stuff like that. Social media is fairly new. I've got a Facebook page, which is a CS AutoTech and Detailing page. I started the channel on YouTube. I don't do much on Instagram really. I have a hard enough time with all the other things I've got going on, keeping up with the Facebook and the YouTube stuff. Trying to shoot content. I've started to get to where I feel way more comfortable talking to a camera.
Look at you.
That was tough. I mean, I literally had to put a picture of somebody up behind it. That way I felt I was talking to somebody, and I to get over it. And I was like,
you use a picture of Aaron? Yeah.
Oh,
he's easy to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things. But the great thing is actually I had wonderful people to lean on, like you, Eileen, that I was able to talk to and ask questions. Like Eddie. Eddie has been fantastic. Jamie has been fantastic. These people have given me some tips, some guidance, some help. So it's
not so long ago you were like, I don't want any of it. I don't want anything to do with the camera. I don't want to get in front of it. None of it. Now look at you on a podcast.
Yeah, it's I'm digging it. I'm actually digging it. I did a drop here about a week or so ago that everybody says, holy crap, like you're natural. You're like, you can't even tell that you've not done this. I was fortunate enough to have, like Ivan reach out and talk, and, other people that just talked and said, hey, so it was really cool. And I'm digging it. I'm working on actually more content for the YouTube channel. And I'm actually planning some stuff for some Phoenix E.O.D. Problem is I've got so many products out there, and here's what I wanted. I went through all these different products, and I wanted to nail it down to a specific handful that I'm going to use personally and business wise. Okay. And, it's right now I've got like Geist for my leather care. All of my paint care stuff is all specific stuff. As far as that goes for touch-up paints, and because that's one of the other things I do a lot of touching up scratches. I do paint work. I paint vehicles. I do a lot of that stuff. But Phoenix E.O.D. is one of my top ones, right in there in my top 5 right now. Fine Labs is one of my other ones, in Detail Co. I mean, these are the products that I'm using on a regular basis because I like the results I get. So interior cleaners. I love the Phoenix E.O.D. interior cleaner because it has no odor. My customers hate, and this is one of the things, and I'll agree with them. They hate when you use a interior cleaner that's got a really strong odor to it, that has like either a fruity smell or a chemical smell or a leather smell. And they don't like that. They want it to be just clean and fresh. And
that's what Daikin smells like. Yeah,
that's what that cleaner is, just clean and fresh, and it helps kill nasty odors, and it works fantastic that way, and I love that.
This Wednesday we will have specialized kits. Typhon will be teaming up with BioBombs Minis, and this Wednesday I should have the final labels for the kit, and it's going to be a specialized 32-ounce spray bottle, heavy-duty trigger. Comes with Typhon concentrate and mini bombs, and it is the ultimate interior cleaning combination. Typhon and mini bombs. We were able to do a really nice collaboration with BioBombs. Their logo's on the bottle. It looks really, really sharp. I'm really excited with the way it turned out, and I cannot wait to set Typhon and mini bombs on the universe. We're going to make this place a whole lot cleaner around here.
I have 2 other interior cleaners that I use that I like a lot, and they are the same thing. They don't have a smell. The Detail Co. interior cleaner doesn't have a smell. Neither does the Fine Labs interior cleaner. It doesn't have a smell. Rick Smith actually asked me a question a little bit ago. What glass cleaner do I like? And what glass towel do I like to use? I do like the House of the Rags glass cleaner towel. And my all-time favorite glass cleaner actually is Fine Labs glass cleaner. It's expensive, but it has crazy wild surfactants in it that you can like scrub a window like with steel wool, and it doesn't dry out. It actually starts sudsing and foaming a little bit. I've actually gone out on a tinted window that's been sitting in the heat for 8 hours at 85-degree days, so you know how hot the window gets, and directly spray it all over the window, and the steams come rolling off, and it doesn't dry up. It doesn't streak. You can wipe it right off, and it cleans beautifully.
I would love to hear your thoughts when you get a chance. Spittler from Apex, he says that Hydra is the best glass cleaner he's ever used. He's just use a little bit of Hydra and the rest water, and he goes, and it's easily the best I've ever used. Doesn't streak. It doesn't do any of that stuff. It doesn't spot up. And because of that, Hydra, that's very same reason, because of that surfactant. I mean, it is the most powerful surfactant that I've been able to find yet, and that's when we did the version 3 to Hydra, the version 3 to Apex. We were able to put that same surfactant in the Peleus panel prep, which also makes for an incredible.
Yeah, Peleus is good.
Yeah,
I use Detail Co.'s glass cleaner, and the foaming one, and I use that. I mean, yesterday it was 99 degrees, and it worked. It worked beautifully. And that's
I like their glass cleaner. I can't say I'm a big fan of the foamers myself, but that's just me. I like a liquid. I love the Hydra rinseless. It's one of my top
Oh yeah,
favorites. I
it's
mean,
come far from
it
pink
is.
water.
It sure has.
Oh man, I absolutely love Hydra. It's got great cleaning power.
You say it as a
Now,
joke, but it's not. It's absolutely version 1 sucked.
It's pink
Egg
water.
yolk.
That's all it was. It was just pink water.
It was not
well,
pink water.
so
It wasn't
I
just pink
prefer
water.
now, and I don't know if you could tell me, but is Hydra a hybrid or is it just a straight surfactant?
It's pretty straight surfactant. But
I mean, is there any polymer in there for a wetting agent or?
Negative. We found that polymers in colder climates would congeal a little bit, and so if you're looking at, I'm East Coast, northern East Coast, so we're subject to some pretty cold. So as soon as the temperatures started to hit around 40, we noticed that polymers were starting to congeal and streak, and so typically polymers are associated with protection as well. And so we figured if you're going to do a rinseless wash, why not just make it pure cleaning? And then you could follow it up with Titan or, some other inferior topper to where you're going to get your protection from. So it's kind of one of those things. My approach to making chemicals, like the version 1 of Apex soap, it was really thick. It was thick, almost like syrup or molasses. And, and we were, at the time we were using an inferior surfactant, but my neighbor was having a real tough time getting it to dilute in his power washer. And so, my process is, if this person is experiencing this problem, other people are going to be experiencing this problem. So I want to kind of troubleshoot before we get to the problem section. And you have to start explaining yourself to your customers. Oh, we've encountered this problem. This is what you have to do to fix it. And I don't want to do that. I want to fix it before you even get it. So that was our approach with Hydra. Was I just wanted it to be really slick, and I wanted it to be really to clean and do all of those things. And then with the polymers and all of that other stuff can be handled in another application of something else, if that tracks.
Totally. I just wasn't for sure if it was a complete, heavy hitting cleaner or had polymer in it. I'm not a polymer fan. I don't like rinseless washes that are just polymers. I don't find they clean or do the job as well as a surfactant base or a hybrid. I mean, it's in my top, and I think that Hydra keeps really good company when you're comparing it to things like, believe it or not.
Welcome to the chats, Keeve. Welcome to the chats. Sorry, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries. I think that when you're comparing it to stuff like what Eddie's worked really hard on with Nemesis or with, the Fine Labs, but they're all surfactant, really heavy surfactant. I know that Nemesis has just a single small polymer, but it's only meant for a wetting agent. It's not for anything else. Everything else is surfactant, and I've done some of the ONR stuff and some of the other ones, or the Absolute from PNS, and I'll be honest, I hated those.
If we're going to be throwing stones there, Jamie, do you remember Foam Town, USA, where everything had a foam or it was trash? And I tried to tell you that when it comes to rinseless, foaming is bad. And now all of a sudden your rinseless is like I think, what is he up to version 4 on his rinseless? I know after Hydra started really kicking ass and trailblazing, all of a sudden all these guys wanted to be like Hydra. So I mean, I don't believe that there's foams anymore. Is that am I accurate with that?
Version 2 is what they've got coming next. I've actually
version 2. I'm sorry, I thought it was like version 8. I can't keep up with these guys.
But Hydra is literally in my top 3 rinselesses. Period. Thanks. It's that great. It's fantastic. Just kind of, I'm missing a bunch of stuff because I just reordered a bunch of stuff in. But like I've got Papa Cut, I use Fab Finish, I use Typhon, I use Hydra, I use Apex soap. Apex is another one that I love it. It foams great. It's got great cleaning power. It's got beautiful cling. It's, you know, and I'm not a big soap guy so much as I am a rinseless guy. I probably do more rinseless stuff than anything. I mean, we're faster with it. Do we still use pressure washers? Sure. I mean, when you've got one set up that's 24/7, we primarily use it for wheels, engines, undercarriages. Then we usually do mostly rinseless washes on the actual bodies.
Not to sweeten the pot at all, but we are going to be doing a Myrtle Beach retreat here in a couple of weeks, the 19th through the 21st of June in Myrtle Beach. Everybody that comes to this little shindig is going to get a bottle of Fenrir, excuse me, I've been a little too much apple juice. Fenrir, and if you come to Myrtle Beach, you'll get a bottle. So come on down. You can sleep on Tim's couch. He said so.
Keith said he's not going now.
I'm not going out.
He doesn't care for it.
Yes, you are. You're the primary reason why this whole thing is happening, sir. Who's rear? Fenrir. That's right. Apex would be the goat with a quality scent. Like, you know, it would be so easy to put a scent in Apex. Maybe I'll do two versions. Those of you that like scent, and those of you that prefer
make it tropical.
Make it tropical.
I get it. It's a lot of people like the experience, and that's what they're looking for. Is they don't want to just they want to have a little bit of experience with it too. So.
Conway, I've got one more question on my list here.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
How do you classify success? What does that look like for you?
I think success for me is when I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Every day that I go into the job doesn't feel like I'm going to a job. When I feel like I'm giving more than I'm taking. And when I feel like the people that I'm taking care of, as well as working with, like what we do. You know, that's as far as professional success. When it goes with that, it's not always added up to money. While the financial part is important too, because you can't do it without it. But there's personal aspects to it that I find that are important for success. Key Megatron was a pistol, and then a tank, and then a gun, and a cannon. Oh, he was a jet.
Gordon,
was
aka Jeff. I do the same thing. I do 2 ounces in a foam cannon, so that's about 16 to 1.
Yeah, I like about 2 ounces in that, depending on the size of the canister. Yeah. But yeah, that tracks. John at Forensic Detail even got Apex to foam. Yeah, man, that stuff is legit. All right. We are approaching the 2-hour mark. I will give away, since I'm going to have, well, since I already have everything, I'm going to give away a bottle of Fenrir to somebody. And the question is going to be, what is the name of the retreat that is happening in June, from June 19th to June 21st, down in Myrtle Beach, being hosted by us? What is the name of the retreat? And I'll give you a bottle of Fenrir tire dressing. You'll be one of the very first to ever get it in your hands. Rick, you don't count. You're done. You don't count.
Save sock retreat.
Save sock retreat. That's exactly right. That's exactly it. That's exactly what it was.
I got to give Sock a little bit of funny here. He's the only guy I know that makes everything that rolls off of his tongue sound like a Hispanic word.
He's so much fun. I spent all day with him today. And we had lunch and we got to hang out and we walked up and down the main drag of Morristown, and we had a really good time. And I'm telling you, what a great conversation that we had. And I look forward. We're actually going to be doing. I don't even know, Socrates. Am I allowed to spill the beans? We're going to be doing his live stream that Friday. We're going to be doing his live stream that Friday. All of us sitting around a table. It'll be everybody that's part of the retreat, talking shop and drinking and eating and hanging out. And we're going to be doing his live stream. It's gonna be so much fun. Everybody
Awesome.
that's already gotten a bottle of the samples isn't qualified to win this. Give somebody else a chance, you psychos.
The first person I saw was Bill Dalton.
Bill Dalton, I give it to him. There you go.
Yeah. Sock is the only guy I know that can take a Japanese or a Korean word like katiba and make it sound like it was meant in Mexico.
Bump. Ta-da! There it is. Myrtle Beach edition. Bum, 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 bum. All right, Bill Dalton in great. I'm going to have to spend $900 to send to Canada. That's awesome.
Sock, you know I love you, buddy.
Do. I have not won a bottle. Did he answer? Keith, did you?
No, he said Aaron's apple juice retreat. I was just looking to see if he said the answer and I missed it.
Oh, good.
But no, he didn't.
Good, because I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that I've screwed one of our people over.
No, I made friends.
Cough, ghost. Cough, ghost.
Where is Ghost?
After he won everything from me and robbed me blind, he doesn't show up anymore. I have to text him.
Is that what
Hey, man,
happened?
can you get to come watch the show?
Or maybe because you didn't give him his flowers because he was actually the one who won.
I sent him the polisher. I actually bought a whole extra separate polisher from Carzilla and had it sent to him.
Simmer down.
I'm just saying, we make good on our word around here, even at the cost
the spooning retreat. That's right, Hassan. That's
spooning retreat.
Myrtle has a girdle.
Only if you sleep over at Titan Tim's house.
Myrtle has a girdle.
All right, that's it. We're done. Hey, Conway.
Yes, sir.
If people wanted to get a hold of you, what would they do?
Well, you can definitely email me.
Exactly.
At my email address, which I can toss in the chat, actually. Oh, it's spelled the post. My email is Conl,
Yep.
Stevens, Stevens, at gmail.com.
Right.
They're also more than welcome to reach me on our Facebook page, which is CS AutoTech and Detailing. They can message me there.
Instagram?
You can also... I don't do much Instagram.
I had you at Conway.Stevens on your Facebook page. Did I get that wrong?
Nope, that's right. Then the other place, of course, is got my YouTube channel.
Yes.
When this is all over, boys and girls, make sure you shoot over there and give him a subscribe, please. He's also streaming this to his channel, so give it a like over there as well, and support the community. You can also go to phoenixeod.com and use promo code CSConway10 to save 10% off of your order.
Sweet.
Conway, you were amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, I don't know about amazing. I'm just another guy, you know.
Never,
I don't know
judge.
about that. If you read
You
the
never
chats,
judge.
Conway is for sure one of the best people I've met in this scene.
I agree with that. 1,000%. You
Just
are
try to.
an amazing dude.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate that. Like I say, I just try to always give back more than I take, and treat people right, and because that's what matters the most. I like to be honest, straightforward. I'm not going to pull any punches with anybody, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I am just another person that hopefully just tries to do what he can.
Not to like blow smoke or anything, but I think that's one of the reasons why you not only just fit in so well in this group and in this family, is that you also emulate the exact same sentiments that all of us here emulate, which is wanting to look out for the next person in the foxhole beside you, sharing the information, trying to leave the place a little bit better than when you found it. And when you are a part of that, that family, and you're kind of just everybody's just kind of paying it forward and looking out for each other, it really is truly a remarkable and beautiful existence in this community, and that's why I love it so much. And you fit in so well with this group because you also, from the interviews that I've heard and from the content that I've watched, and obviously the comments that you're leaving in the comment section when you're part of the chats, it's really a real pleasure to be around people like you, and so I thank you for that.
I appreciate that, Aaron.
One last question from Humberto before we wrap this thing up. Humberto wants to know how your back is.
It's a little rough right now. I just was in yesterday, in fact, for some spinal procedure stuff where they went in with a bunch of needles and did a bunch of nerve ablation, and it's not the most pleasant thing to have happen. I've over the last about 2 years, this will be my 10th procedure. I'm not doing any surgeries, that's for sure, but hopefully less pain will be the goal in about another month.
Good. I'm sorry to hear that you're going through all that. I know what it's like to go through chronic pain.
Not much fun.
No.
Your life can change in a real quick heartbeat if an accident occurs, and that's what happened to me. And an accident occurred. It's not like it was pre-planned. Things happen, and but you still got to carry on and live life.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Conway.
Thank you, Conway.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Irene. Thank you, Aaron. I really, really, truly appreciate you guys having me on, giving me the opportunity just to sit down and hang out. It's
Of course.
I won't lie, I don't have a ton of people around to hang out. Most of the people I deal with is online, and I don't find anybody online any less real than the people I see daily.
Yeah.
I know some people like to think that it's a whole different thing, but the other person on the end of that keyboard, the end of that screen, the end of that camera, they're still a living, breathing person with heart, love, and soul. So
I'm sorry, Conway, but
Keith is the best. He is the surgeon of insults.
He's dropping the truth bombs here.
He is the best.
Captain Apple Pie. You got to just remember. He's. I tried to tell him he should have named that nozzle instead of the Kiev nozzle, the apple pie nozzle. So
it's fantastic. Honestly, Conway, the pleasure was ours, for real.
Yeah. You're a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Yeah,
and it's great to get to know you even more. So thank you for giving us that time.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stick around to the end, but this is usually the part of the show where we, just do the rundown of, what we're all about.
Well, I love hanging out.
All right. Excellent. All right, here we go. Eileen.
Yep.
Where can people find you?
So Clean Detailing on Instagram. on Facebook. You can email me at info@getsoclean.com. You can shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. You can check out my website, getsoclean.com, or my videos on YouTube. So Clean Detailing. Thank you, Fernando.
And you can always go to phoenixeod.com and use SoClean10 to get everything off site-wide.
Yes.
All right. Phoenix Rise from the Ashes Pay It Forward campaign. You can send donations to Phoenix E.O.D. 404 Bloomfield Drive, Suite 1, West Berlin, New Jersey, 08091. Special shout out to our distributors. We have our West Coast distribution, IamDetailedAF.com, Midwest distribution, FabDetailSupplies.com, and Southeast distribution, ShineYourLightDetailing.com/store. Worldwide distribution at Carzilla, carzilla.ca, United Kingdom into detailing.co.uk, and our good friend Andrew in Australia, osprodetailing.com.au. And then, of course, the House of Rags is everywhere you are. Check out thehouseofrags.com. Use no direction 10 to save some cheddar.
You don't even know your own code? Come on.
Hey, it's a lot of words. And it's a lot of words, and there's a lot of apple juice happening. So just chillax, lady. If you would like to be a guest on Curmudgeon's Corner, drop us an email at info@phoenixeod.com and let us know that you're interested, and we will get a hold of you and work out the details on how to get you on the show. Like that, I added that today.
I like it.
Thank you.
Look at that.
All right. Yeah. Okay, and then near and dear to our hearts, suicide prevention and crisis counseling resources. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, seek help from a professional and call 988. The United States' first nationwide 3-digit mental health crisis hotline. 988 will connect callers with trained mental health counselors. Text HOME to 741-741 in the U.S. and Canada to reach a crisis text line. And then, of course, you can go to the apa.org/topics/crisis-hotlines. And they have links to every single affliction that you can be thinking of, be it domestic abuse, mental abuse, substance abuse, gambling, whatever it is that's troubling you, reach out to somebody. You are not alone in this world. And according to Conway, alone in the universe. Make sure you check us out at Instagram.com at Curmudgeon's Corner Pod for all things Curmudgeon's Corner. And I think that just about wraps it up for Curmudgeon's Corner 56.
Thanks, guys.
Meet us back here in 2 weeks. We are going to have a very, 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 very special episode featuring the boys from Thor. Eddie and Jamie will be here. Curmudgeon's Corner 57 for an off-the-hook, super special, big-time announcement. You're going to want to be here in 2 weeks. We love you guys. Thanks for coming out on a Saturday night. Anywhere you wanted to be here. And for that, we thank you and love you. All right? And then we'll see you guys in 2. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace out.